Hello, and welcome to 7 Days to Die, the RP experiment. So what I wanted to do today was showcase a little bit of an experiment we've been trying out with 7 Days to Die. I had been playing a lot of the Walking Dead Telltale games, and I know a lot of people that play on 7 Days to Die with us. They're big Walking Dead fans. And this game carries its own as a zombie game. And we thought, you know what? Let's try something a little bit different because pretty much we are incredibly effective when it comes to this game. Jen and I, we have our shit down on this game. We know what to do. We come in, we've got it down. We're like, okay, get your scavenging up. We got to get concrete. We got our tools up. She goes down one tree for tool crafting. I usually go down a tree for weapon crafting to get crossbows. We're hitting stores. We know what to look for. And we're pretty much after the first week of playing at purple and everything's hunky-dory, good to go. And that does get boring for people, other people that play. For her and I, we can just keep playing forever. We're fine. You know, I'm going to go build. She's just going to have a great time scavenging and sorting and killing zombies. So, we have a lot of other people that we've played other games with that like this game, but it tends to get a tiny bit boring for them playing that way. So what we decided, or at least I had an idea and I shared it with some other people and they got on board for it. I said, why don't we do some RP with this game? Let's all come up with some classes and jobs and roles and force ourselves to stick to these jobs, you know, and let's RP some characters. Let's actually get into some RP. So, you know, I was actually very surprised at the interest I got, and we did it. And everybody's stuck to it. We don't all have purple gear. We're getting to the point where we're starting to get purple gear, but things are looking pretty good. Let me tell you a little bit about what we've done so far. We have the Grumpy Hunter. He likes to stick to himself. He goes out and he hunts and he gets meat and he makes leather armor. And he does a tiny bit of scavenging. He also makes biofuel and he makes candles and he's just kind of grumpy. He doesn't really want to deal with people. You know, he'll buy wood. He'll buy iron from people that mine to make himself some steel bolts. And he'll sell bolts and he'll sell crossbows to people. You'll see there's a crossbow on my bar. I did purchase that from him. And that's his role. That's what he does. I am Miss Frida, and I am the builder. I specialize in concrete. So I have Caviar Construction, the finest in building needs. And I started out, I wasn't going to be doing even my own tools. I was going to have somebody else do that. I was going to have Jen do that. But unfortunately, she wasn't able to play when we were on for that first week, and we hit a point where absolutely nobody had tools, so I decided, well, you know what? Frida's a builder. Yeah, okay. Maybe she can make her own tools. So I went ahead and I started making tools and selling tools, which actually sells better than my concrete. But my original plan had been to just focus on concrete, and what I would do is in major towns I would sell, you know, rental bunkers. You'd spend the night and you just leave me a little something, you know. So if you were a scavenger and you were out and you just needed somewhere safe to stay, you would have a bunker that had a food box so you could put your food in it, and you wouldn't have to worry about being stinky and zombies coming after you, and you'd have a fire if you wanted to cook your meats or boil some water, so there was a cooking pot and a grill on it. And I think I even put a beaker on a couple of them just because I had so many. And you know, really it was just a nice little comfy place to stay where you could feel safe. And I only made two of them. I actually plan on doing that because I got distracted with people purchasing concrete from me, so I didn't really spend as much time as I had originally planned doing that. And then over here, I'm going to take you to some of the people's houses that we have here, instead of wandering around aimlessly. This is the hermit. He likes to chop down trees, and you can see here he purchased some concrete from me, as well as some cobblestone. And here's his little shop. So we have a self-pay system, so people don't have to be online all the time. If you want to buy their goods, you come up here, and he's marked the price for a stack of goods with plant fibers. And everybody sort of is kind of doing their boxes differently, but you kind of get the general ideas. I mark my prices with nails since I'm a builder. And we've been using these casino tokens as the monetary value. The devs have said that in Alpha 15 they are planning on having their NPC traders trade with casino tokens. So that is definitely going to be the value of, you know, the monetary system in the game that's coming up. So it's a good way to get used to it. Over here we have another hunter. She does a lot of the same thing as our grumpy hunter, but she also, part of her backstory is she's from Alaska, and she left for various reasons. You know, her family wasn't very understanding about her relationship, so she moved to Arizona to be with her girlfriend, who passed away when the zombie apocalypse happened. And her dad taught her a lot about repairing cars. So she's running the gas and sass. She's taking apart cars, and she's selling car parts and gas. If you come in here into her little store, she's got gas for sale, and she's got some car parts. She doesn't have prices for some of these. It's sort of a leave me what you think is fair. I think that's just a supply box. I made those for her. And yes, I built this building for her. Nice little garage here. And over here is something I did for another friend who is absolutely terrified of zombies, but this is her all-time favorite game. I mean, terrified in real life. She is scared, but this is her all-time favorite game of all. So when she started playing, she came in a bit late. She was originally going to do the tools, but I knew she'd want somewhere safe to stay, so I told her, you know what, I'll make you a rental bunker, and you can just pay me and stew every once in a while. So she's got her little bunker here, super small but super duper safe, and she's got iron bar walkway all the way around, so zombies can't touch it. And oh hey, look, there's a pig down there. They'll die. It's not a seventh day super safe bunker. I mean, it will last, but it's, you know, it's not great for it. You're gonna need to actually go out and kill things. I had the inspiration from the generic map Navezgane. Navezgane, I think is what it's called. There's a farm, a cornfield, and there's a little shack there, and one playthrough we upgraded the whole thing to steel and just lived in that shack, and it was amazing. We never once had that thing broken into. It was a tiny little shack, but it was great. It was the best little shack ever. So I basically went and double checked on a generic game and found the dimensions for it, and I made her that shack because I know she loved that shack. So that's where she's living. Over here we have one of our scavengers' houses, and I'm going to tell you now, the concrete and iron bars that are around his house were actually a prank, and after all was said and done, he's like, I'm keeping it, you know, because we just locked him in with a toilet, and we put like yeah, so that's what we put in there for him. And then we had fires outside, and we turned on the fires so he'd get screamers because we're jerks, but we love him. So I'm gonna sneak into his house. He's relatively new to the game. He's played it a bit, but he's experimenting with building. And this is all him. So I'm probably going to get lost down here. This is not good. But he's making himself his own. Alright, I'm already lost. I don't know how to get to it. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to show you. Is it this way? It's this way. Here we go. Alright. Oh, no. Maybe it's this way? Okay, you know what? Never mind. I don't want to get lost. This place scares me. Alright, one more attempt here. Oh my goodness, he's done so much more since I've last seen it. It's not well lit. Unfortunately, it's nighttime. He's making himself a giant Mines of Moria type living quarters down here. Now, how do I get out? Oh, there. Stairs. Thank goodness. And he's a scavenger and miner is sort of his role. He's also selling clothing. And I'm going to show you what we did. Myself and some of the other miners, we took some time and we donated some materials for concrete to build a marketplace. It was sort of our 7th day town. Why can I never get out of his hovel here? There we go. We donated some materials to make concrete, and our hunters and our farmer donated food, and I donated some tools, and our doctor donated some medical supplies, and one of our ammo makers, he donated some ammo, and he came and he protected us while we built this town for our 7th day marketplace, and I'm going to come up on that soon. And it's the fastest build I've ever done in this game. I was expecting it to take a couple of real life days, because that's just usually how long it takes to build something that massive, but we got it done very quickly, and it's very, very nice. But before I go, this is Fistful of Pesos. This belongs to our farmer and cook, and also he runs a pawn shop. And unfortunately at the moment it looks like he hasn't replanted his corn, but that's okay. And if we come in here, you can see he's got his boxes. Oh, that one's empty. Oh, I think he's relocating everything to the main town. Yeah, he is. But this is his little shop. And I may have exited my little store before you really got to take a look at it. And unfortunately I know it's nighttime, it's hard to see anything. So I may wait till daytime before I go to our main town, and also our hospital. Holy cow. She just went crazy. So, usually when I build crazy defenses, and I make sure the house is impenetrable, and I usually have a couple of people that live in my house. And this time around, because I was going RP, I didn't do that. I wanted a house with no defenses because it's kind of ugly. And I wanted to roleplay a bit. And I didn't want to have a house that was, you know, incredibly secure and all concrete. So I kicked everyone out of my house. I said, you can stay for a couple of days, and then we'll go find you a house. So, yeah, I told them, I love you, but you gotta get out. Because I let a few people stay here, and they weren't paying attention, and they were drawing zombies. If there's zombies here at night, I run out and I kill them, or I pull them away. But, yep. So, Miss Frida here has started a sideline making furniture. That's why she has a little cotton field. She doesn't sell cloth. Our farmer was selling cloth, but he got lazy. He said it was too much work. But if you come in, this is her shop. She's got counters for transactions here. This was our donation box for the town. And then we have, I haven't changed these out yet, prices for tools and some furnishings. But I haven't done a lot with that yet, and it looks like I have a few things I'm out of that I need to replace. And then you'll see a lot of people have these little things here. We're calling these mailboxes. It's just a wall safe embedded above a door, or I don't know if you saw it at the hermit's house. He has one just sticking sort of up out of the ground, 2 blocks of concrete with a wall safe in it. And that's just so that if we're dropping something off for somebody, we can say it's in your mailbox and they know where it is. So it's starting to get to be daytime, so I'm going to come down here to the market we built. And we built this probably in 30 minutes, I think. It went really, really fast. I couldn't believe how fast it went. But we have parking spaces for everybody. These are 2 spares. Everybody put sort of their character's initials above it, so they know whose parking space is whose. And then we have this nice entryway, and I need to do a few little things to improve upon it. But we have a row of the big spikes all the way around, and then a pit with short spikes. And then we come in here and we have, there we go. Everybody has a 5x5 area that they could build in. So here we have 2 stalls that people have not been able to log on to build since we built the town. So there's 2 spots left, so you can see sort of what they look like. And everybody just got to build their own spots. So here we have our lovely farmer's spot, and you can see he has a payment to pick up for some stew. And here's the hermit, Gunther. And here's our hospital within the walls. And you can see she's selling medical supplies. And I love that she put the hospital beds in here. It's so cute. She did such a great job with that. But right next door to her is her husband. So what they did was and I'm gonna go sneak inside. They combined their living space, which is absolutely adorable. I love it. I love their fireplace. It's just beautiful. Looks very rustic. And he's one of our 2 weaponsmiths. So you can see his boxes out here, because we think she just told him, this is the space you get, you have to go outside. But, you know, that's a theory. Don't tell her I said that. I'm just teasing. She's very sweet. I don't think she'd do that to him. Over here is one of the hunter's spaces. It's not very well decorated. That's my fault. I've been waiting for her for input. She and I are sharing a living area. So we decided, you know what, let's be neighbors. Yes, I know it looks terrible, but I need to know what she likes, and she hasn't been on. So over here I've got my little shop where I'm selling my goods, and here I actually have the nails in here, and make me an offer for some of these building materials, just so that if somebody's in town and they want something and they don't want to run to my main shop, they can grab it. And the farmer has been complaining, Mr. Fistful of Pesos, that I don't have a showroom. So I decided that it seemed like if I was going to be selling furniture, instead of having a showroom, my basement where I store things, I could just throw things down there and it would look like I'm actually storing it, but also at the same time people could look at what some of the furniture looks like. So I just kind of threw things down here willy-nilly. And there's other stuff that I can just say, go look over there. There's some of it over there, but I was having fun with that. And then over here is our clothing shop. So you can see he's putting his prices in cloth fragments. He liked the idea with the nails, since he's selling clothing. And he wanted to make sort of an area, it's bright, for people to hang out. So he's not really going to do a house up here, he's just doing sort of a hangout spot. Because he thought that'd be nice for people. And this is, Grumpy Hunter doesn't have anything in his shop yet, which we keep pestering him about. But he's grumpy, so he just ignores us. But yeah, so this is just a little bit of our idea, and I thought it was pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. We had a lot of problems at the beginning trying to decide value on things because we had nothing to base our reference on. And what we did at first is we're like, okay, well, what would you, as a miner, what would you think would be fair in coins for this item? For stone, for iron, for lead. And when you're using crappy tools and your mining skill is low and it's taking you forever just to get one stack of rocks and one stack of iron, it's kind of hard to say what you want to charge for it. It's not, it's going to be on the higher end. And we didn't have a lot of scavengers either at first. We do now, but at first, shockingly, because I thought everybody was going to choose scavenger, we had maybe one. That was it. But yeah, so brass was high, bullets were expensive. It was just kind of difficult to figure out what the market was. So there was a lot of haggling, a lot of discussion, a lot of back and forth on it. And now, there wasn't a lot of coins either, and that was the problem too, was no one had coins because there weren't scavengers out getting coins. So it was a lot of trial and error. I think it's going to be a lot easier when Alpha 15 comes out and the NPCs have items for sale for coins, so you can easily acquire coins, and we can also look at something and say, okay, here's a set value on it. So we know what to charge, we also know what we can get for it, what a fair price is. Because basically our price has been fluctuating. I mean, we started off with, brass was extremely expensive, which meant bullets were extremely expensive, which meant nobody had guns. We were all just running around using a bow or a crossbow. And that wasn't great. So it all changed, but it's still a lot of fun. And I really like too that the fact that I'm not getting, because I do get bored eventually with this game too. I'm not getting as bored. I'm now starting to finally get some decent weapons, but usually by this time I'm running with all purple weapons. And I just got this Magnum yesterday from somebody, from one of our two gunsmiths. I bought it from him. I'd been running around with an orange Magnum for 2 weeks. So, and about 50 bullets that I made last those 2 weeks. So I managed to get some coins from selling tools and concretes, and I saved up and I bought the gun, and I bought a lot of ammo. And our armor smith is finally at purple quality. So he wanted 25 coins apiece, and he didn't have any more gloves, but I managed to purchase 3 pieces of armor. I had enough coins to do that. So, and we're keeping a good eye on each other. You know, we're making an effort to make sure that everybody's having a good time and nobody doesn't have any coins. You know, we're buying a little bit more than we need to, and we're trying not to step on each other's toes, because I could go out and chop my own wood, I could go boil my own water, but I'm not. I'm buying the water from the cook. I'm buying wood from the woodcutter, and you know, I'm not making my own arrows. I'm buying it from the hunters. Just trying to make sure that they have a good time too, and that everybody stays viable, and that, you know, not one person is doing everything. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching. I know this was a brief one, but I just wanted to share our ideas. You all take care. Bye now.